Alright, so I wanted to come on here and kind of show something that had just started to become more clear to me in the recent times. I have just completed my 4th year trading, so I'm now starting my 5th year trading, and this has started to become a little bit more clear at this time frame, and honestly, it's given me a big confidence boost on how I see the market and making me a lot more confident on my entries and exits as well. So as the market, this right here, stock market, thinkorswim, instead of trading view, and how I see the market is up, down, up, down, up, down, basically, simplest form, right? And how I would describe it to make sense to me is stairs. I see stairs, right? So how I would describe that is if I start here at level 1, I make my way up here to, let's say, level 10. But then I think to myself, this is too high. I'm scared of heights. I don't like this. I work my way down right here. Let's say I'm at level 7 right here. And then I say, I don't like the view here. I'm trying to work my way back up. Now, as you can see, this green candle right here does not go above level 10. It comes back down. And then finally it makes its way up. Right, so we're going to pay attention to that for future, I guess, levels to pay attention to. Right, but we went from level 7. Eventually, we break. Let's say we're at 11. I think to myself, I'm really scared of heights. I tried, but I got to go back down. So I go back down to level 8. Then, as you can see, we work our way up and down, then up and down, then up and down, then up and down. Right. So how is it that we can capitalize on these up, down, movements? And that is something that I wanted to attempt to identify and has now started to become more apparent to me, more accurate, and I can see it a lot better, or at least attempt to identify it and say, yes, this is the level for sure. And if I was to explain that, I'm going to do it within this time frame right here. How is it that we would know that we're going to go up and then down? We're going to explain it from this standpoint right here. Now, where we will end up, that is something that can't be predicted, right? I don't know if we're going to go down here and then work our way up here, then work our way up, or all the way down here, work our way up, or even further down here, work our way up. I don't know. All I can do is go off of the levels that I marked up. But this right here, if we follow this white line to the left, we can see that that is an area to pay attention to, right? Because we can see this is a level right here, level right here, level right here that we hit, right? But now let's go back. How do we know that it's going to go down? So on this daily time frame, this is how I would do to identify it. Now we worked our way up from here. Remember, this is the area. This was the last low that I hit from this one. Right? Remember, we went too high. I said I'm scared of heights, so I started working my way down. This is the last low that I hit before I went all the way up here. Right? So when you pay attention to the candles, these are candles. If you didn't know already, look at the top. This one right here. This one is higher than this one. This one is higher than this one. This one higher than this one. this one higher than this one. This one higher, this one higher, this one not higher. So what we're going to do is I call that pullback. No matter how small it is, it's a pullback because the momentum is no longer there. So we hit this bottom low right here, this bottom wick, but this one is also beneath this one. Right, so that's why I have this white line right here, this dotted line, as the level, the lowest level that I hit before we broke back above here, because which we did. Right, so here's the lowest level that I went to before I decided to go back up. Remember, this was too high for me, I decided to go down. I say I don't like the view here, okay, I start to go back up. Too high for me, I go down. Mark that level. Alright, I don't like the view here, and we go back up. Went up. Alright, it's too high for me. Now we're going to work our way down. But where do we go? That is something to identify. We don't know. All we can do is mark out our levels and then play them as they arrive. But I know that this right here is a level that I'm going to keep here. So we can identify that level on a smaller time frame. So let's see what the name of this level is. If we look at this box, the name, alright, or not. Alright, so the box right here, the name is first target. Now this is on a daily time frame, big time frame, right? The name of it is first target. So now we're going to go down, because this is the daily time frame right here. We're going to go down to the 4 hour. We're going to go to that same area, the price we were looking at. Alright, remember, here's that first target area, the last low that I shot. I didn't like the view, so I worked my way up. Here's the highest point I got to from working my way up. Now, we can wait until we break this low to enter short. We can wait till we break above this high to enter long. Shorts is puts, long is calls. Right? But that's a long time to wait. Right? So no trade on this day. The date is right here. So it's going to be no trade on what it is, the 8th, no trade on the 9th, and finally a trade midday on the 10th. I don't know if you want to wait that long. Delete this. I don't know if you're gonna wait that long, right? To trade 1, 2, 3.5 days, or 2.5 days, right? Let's try to minimize it a little bit more, or redefine to make it a little bit more accurate. All right, so now we're going to keep the same process of that high, low, too high, scared of heights, or too low, can't appreciate the view. Right? We're going to keep that same thought process. Right? So we come up here. We come up here. Here's the high. It's too high for me, and it's above all the other highs. Right? Too high for me. So what I do, I start making my way down. I make my way down here. All right. Too low for me. I don't like the view. Here's the wick. 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 Right? All above each other. Here's the wick. 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 All right, here we go. This wick, obviously lower than this one. We hit the down wick, we mark the down wick. Right there with this blue line. This wick is not beneath. Not beneath. Gucci. So here's the last low that we went to that we didn't like the view. Then we start to make our way up. Now, here is the high that we've established, which is also higher than this one. So this is now the newest level we've been to that we were too scared to go above because we were scared of heights. And we worked our way down from here. Scared of heights, work our way down. Here's the lowest point we went to. So I don't like the view here, so now we're going to work our way up. Work our way up. So we mark this level right here. Alright, so I'm going to start to delete all this because it's starting to get messy. Alright, so remember, we're working from here as the highest point we went to that we're scared of heights. And here's the lowest point we went to that we don't like the view. So we're starting to make our way up right here. Alright. So now we can go to a smaller time frame because we have already identified this level as the lowest point that we've been to. Alright, so now you can see that candle did break. Good. But now we want to not wait 4 hours to see this. We want to make it smaller, tighter, so we can enter earlier and get a better entry point. So now we're on the 1 hour. As we can see, here's that low, the daily time frame, the target, first target that we also saw in the 4 hour. Now we're on the 1 hour. Here's that low that we're gonna keep there, and I'll be respectful to and remindful of. So remember, we worked our way up. All these candles on the 4 hour managed to close or wick above until we got to this point, the highest point right here. That was too high for us. And then we worked our way down right here, which is the lowest point that we didn't like to view, so we worked our way up. Excuse me. So as we worked our way up, notice this candle right here did not go above this candle right here. So therefore, because this was already established as too high, I'm scared of heights, the highest point that we've been to, and this one is too low that I don't like the viewpoint from here, so I need to go higher. Alright, we've already established those two lanes. We see price come down, up, but does not break the high. It stays below. It stays below. So now we are in a 1 hour. We can wait for it to do whatever it does, whether it breaks above and go long, or whether it breaks beneath and go short. Now, as we can see, it broke beneath, but let's narrow it down a little bit more so we can actually get a tighter entry. Now we're going to go down to the 15 minute and open it up a little bit. Alright, now we go down to the 15 minute. We have that price range that we were just working on. Let me delete this. We have that price range that we were working on, which was going to be here and here. Because remember, this is the target on the daily. The target on the daily. So here's the price range we're working on, this red line. Here's the highest point that we've been to, that we decided we're scared of heights and we no longer want to go higher. We have to go down a little bit. Here's the lowest point we've been to, that we decided we don't like the viewpoint here. We can't see anything, so we need to go higher. So now, since we're on 15 minutes, let's work within the 15-minute structure. I'm going to change it to yellow. Alright, that works. Change it to yellow. So now from the 15-minute structure, here is the highest point that we've been to. It was too high. We went low, we came up. Alright, be a little bit more clear. Alright, so here's the highest point we went to. We did not break. We decided this is too high. So therefore, I need to work my way down, go low. Come here. We decide this low is too low. I can't see anything. So we work our way up. We did not break this high. Right? Too high. Still too high. So we decided to what? Go down because it's too high. We're scared of heights. What do? We do go lower than this. This is a thick line. So what I'm gonna do is zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. All right. Remember, we are working within this level on the hourly, and now here is the level that we are working on the 15. All right, so we made that low right there. We're made our way up. Here is the high that was not broken, and as we can see, here's the low. Did we break? We did, right here. Now you can do a wick or you can do a close. This is very, very close. So I'm gonna do a close. I'm not gonna do a wick. So we come in here. Here's the lowest point. I don't like the view. We wicked it. I'm gonna keep going. We closed right here. So we were once operating within this area, right? Came down, came up, came down, came up, broke. So now we have a new low. We went to a lower position because this was too high. We were scared of heights. Went down, can't appreciate the view. Went back up, right? Still too high. Went lower. Now we're at this point, right? So what we do is we erase this one, right? And then we've identified this as that previous high. This is low. So we've already broke this one, went here. So this is the new low. But how do I identify the new high? Because we have a new low, we must have a new high. Right? So how do I identify that new high? The way that I identify it, I'm going to switch the color to green. Right? Here is the high that we were operating from, right here. So that's the starting point of the high. Then we made that low, yellow. We're operating from this high, this low. Up, down, and break. Right? So now, this right here, green, is the new low. How do I identify the new high? The new high is, for a short position at least, the highest point from the pullback that has been established before it breaks the low. What that means is this was the high that was made. So this is the starting point. Everything this way, because we read left to right, is now in consideration for a new high or low, depending on where we go. Now we're going low in this situation. If we're going high, use the same exact thought process. Just consider it for high. So the starting point is here. Everything from this point forward is now in consideration for a new high. So what we are doing is identifying the highest point that did not break this high, remember, because we're going low. The highest point in this pullback that did not break this high. Where is that going to be? Right here. That is the highest point in the pullback before it broke the low. Because here's a high point as well, but it's lower than this one. Right? So once again, make the high right here. make the low. We break the low. So right here is the cutoff area, and right here is the starting area. So in this box right here that we're working on, here's the start, here's the end, here's the level that we're paying attention to. Here's the level that we're paying attention to. So from here to here, here's the high, here's the low. Where is the highest point in this area that broke the low? This one. Alright, so since that is the highest low, in that box that broke the low, this is the area we are now working within. So here is our zone that we're within. This is pre-market, so we can't really trade it anyways. If we're doing options, if we're doing futures, yes, we can trade it. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Right. So now, here is our pullback, our high, our low, and then we break. So now, this is the new high because we broke right here, the old high. Wick above, wick above, wick not above. So here's a new high. Now, from this pullback, right, we're working within this range. Now, what we want to identify is everything after this point, because we're breaking above now. We've already gave the example of below. Everything after this point is in consideration for a lower high that was established to be considered the new low. So, if we were to look at it like that, from this point to this point is the range we're working in. Since this was a low and a new high, where is the lowest point within this range, starting from here, moving forward, lowest point within this range that caused the break? You should guess here. Alright, if you did in fact guess there, you're correct. Because we are starting from here, this point. I don't know if you can see the mouse. We're starting here from this point and moving forward for everything to be considered. Here's the pullback, here's the retracement, here's the break. Right, so now, since we are working from this time frame, or this area to this area, that is our new work area that we want to pay attention to. If we break above, we go high. If we break below, we go low. And this is simply a waiting game. So now, let's delete all of this. I don't know if there's anything else. All right, let's delete all this. Now on the 5 minute, if I go to 5 minute, it won't show all of this time price action. It's too short of a time frame. All right, so what I'm going to do is just enter on 15. All right, so remember we are working from this level and this level. If it goes above, we go calls. If it goes below, we go puts. Obviously, we can see it went below. So we would enter right here at this point, and we would go short. Now, let's erase this and see how far this bad boy goes. So we would go short right there at the break of that area. Right, so we go short right here, and as we can see, paid, paid, paid. Now, how do we know that we're about to work our way up? We come all the way down right here. Remember, here's the last low that was made. It was like, I don't like the view down here. I just don't. So we work our way up. We come to this level right here. It's like, it's too high. It's too high. We work our way down. what do? We break above, right? So here is the low that was established. Here was the high that was established. We pull back, new low established, because that low is the one that broke this, and we come all the way up here. New low that was established, because we broke this high, come all the way up here. Now, some days are going to be like this, right? Chop. Chop, chop, chop. Indecision. What is going on? Well, after this big dump, of course, this big price movement right here, of course, there's going to be some indecision. Like, what is going on right here? And that right there, we don't really know, right? The market doesn't know. So it's trying to, excuse me, it's trying to decide what it wants to do. As you can see, it's indecisive. So now, I'm going to move over. And then we're going to look at this area. So if we go to the 1 hour, right, it would show that we came down here, we made a low. We went up here, we made a high. We came down here, we made a low. We went up here, made a high. Right? That's probably in the 1 hour, 4 hour. But we're going to keep, let's just look at it just to be sure. All right, here's the price action we're working on. Yep, here's the low. Here's the high. Here's the low. Or we could do low, high, low, high, low, high, low. However you want to work it. But let's think big. Let's think big. High, low, that high, 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 low, high, high, low, lower high, lower low, right? Let's delete that. So we're working on this time frame right now. Remember, low, high, low. So that's what I want to pay attention to, that low right here. All right, we're gonna move down, back down to the 15. Then change time frame, 2 days. All right, here is the area that we are looking at. We are paying attention to this area right here. Now remember, on the 1 hour, that was the low, that was the high, that was the low. How is it that we know we're about to go back up or go back down? All right, so this low right here was created. How do we know we're about to go back up? We came up from this point. We came up. We thought, it's too high. We came down. Said, I don't like the view here. We came up. We broke above this. So now what do? We're going up. We're going up now because we don't appreciate the view from down here. So we got to go up. We did. We thought, it's too high. We go down. We don't appreciate the view here. We got to go up. So we do. We get over our heights here and continue to work our way up. That's on a small time frame. So that right there can show me, all right, we're starting to work our way up. Now, as we work our way up, you can see that high, low, and then break beneath, right here. And then we start to work our way down. This is aftermarket, pre-market. So we can't do anything here anyways, right? But what we can do is identify open, 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 right? So when we were open, lowest point we go to was here. When we were open, the highest point we got to was here. So it's still low, high. When we were open, the lowest point we got to was here, which is still higher than this one, right? So now, how do I know that it's about to go back up? All right. So keeping the same thought process of the too high, too low type situation, right? We worked our way down. Here was the too low area to where I can't appreciate the view. Excuse me, sorry. All right, so we went from here to here. The reason why we started here is because this was the high that did in fact break this low. So now we got a new range of the new high, got a new range of the new high, and the new low. Remember, so everything in consideration from this point forward can be considered high-low, right? So came up here, made the high, made the low. Then we started to work our way up. Too high, too low, too high, break beneath. Cool. So since we break beneath, this right here is now considered low. And how do we find the new high? Remember, it's everything from starting from this point and this point. What is the highest point that caused the break of this low within the pullback? Right here. This white line. That's why the white line. Right? So this is now the new high that we're working in. We're just going to keep it as a white line so we don't have so much going. Right, this is the new high that we're working from. In the green line, the new area. Right, so now this was the highest point we went to before we decided we got to go down. We don't like the view here. We don't appreciate it. We got to work our way back up to get a better view. We do. We start to work our way up. Now we break above this point. Remember, this was our level. The white line was our level to where we decided it was too high. I'm scared of heights, right? And then we worked our way down right here. But now, since we broke above this high, I'm no longer afraid of this height level. So sure, I'm still afraid of heights because it still come down right here, as you can see. But this particular level, I'm no longer afraid of. Right? I'm no longer scared of heights. So I break above, and I work my way up. And then you can do the same thing on a minimal time frame as the high-low, right, as that. So if we want to do that, right, what we can do, erase this, is do exactly that. Right, we can see that the wick, high, 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 low. High, 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 low. High, 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 low. High, low, high, and so forth, right? So this right here would be a level to pay attention to. This is the lowest point. And then this right here would be the level to pay attention to. That is the highest point. So if it breaks beneath this one, go short, which it did. If it breaks above this one, go long, right? In this case, it broke short. Bam, going short. Right? But this level, the white line level, tells me we want to go higher. Now, if we go to the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we came up here eventually. Because remember, low, high, high, low, high, low. That was high. It's a little reverse, but my mind just kind of scattered. Yeah. Low, high, low, high, low, lower high. There it is. But yeah, so we broke above this one. So this tells me that we are no longer on a down character. We're now on an up character, which we get that up character right here. This right here was the last low and the last high. We break that low. We're no longer on an up character. We're on a down character. Right? So working from this level and this level now. What do? We eventually break that level. Right? So we work on a small little up character. Right here. Small up. Here's the high. Here's the low. What do? We break that. So we're no longer working on the up character. We're now on the down character. So here's the high. Here's the low. As you can see, technically we broke it. But then we immediately went right back in for pullback. So we would operate within this area. We would operate within this area and this area. And we would wait for a break of which. And as you can see, we broke beneath. So that would be this up character has just broke beneath this low. So now we're in the down character. Here's the low that we're working from. Here's the high. Here's the low. And we break above. No longer scared of this height level. So change the character. No longer on that. No longer on that down character. Because we got to change the character. We're now on the up character. Up character. These levels are marked from the 1 hour, 4 hour, so major time frame matters. So you need to be able to switch back and forth, back and forth. So we are now on the up character. Here is the low that was established. The high. What do we do? We break the low. So this up character, this is still technically up, even though it's sideways. So we came from here to here. We break this low. That's why I have the marked level. And then we work our way down. Down character. Purple, right? We hit here and we bounce up. Now, how do we know we're going to bounce up? Because we established our high low, right? Which is going to be the high, the low. Work the way up, the high, the low. We broke above, so this height, no longer scared of. Now we decided to change the character up. Here's the change of character. Character was down, character is now up. Now we come over here, right? Character change from up to down, short down. Break right here to up. Work our way all the way up here. So basically, all this is to identify which character we're in, and then when does it break that character to change to the next character. And if we make it as narrow as possible, to make it very obvious, you'll see. So this is the sideways action, but the character is up. Character down. Character up. Character down. Big down. Character up. Character down. Character up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. So forth. And that right there would be the major swings. Because notice I'm following these lines. I didn't put them here. But following these lines. Right, so you can identify them on the major time frame, which would be the daily 4 hour, 1 hour. You can look at it on 15-minute and see, okay, I know what I'm looking at. Right, so as long as you can identify when that change of character occurs, then you can see what trend, what character is to come next. Because if I know that we are currently in an up character, technically from here to here, I know this is up character. Still higher low than this one. On the 1 hour, 4 hour, be higher than this one. This high is lower than this one on the 1 hour, 4 hour. So we got a low, high, higher low, lower high. So still technically uptrend. Micro scale, we break the low. We start to get in here, go down. Do we know where it's going to go? No. Can we set a target? Yes. Where it's going to be the first initial target? Here. Here first, and here. And then lastly here. And then you just trail as it does its thing, because we don't know it's going to do this. But we know that if we break this low, most likely we go to this low. If we break this low, most likely we go to this low. If we break this low, most likely we go to this low, and so forth. So that's how you can identify your targets. But the character is up. We break that one, signaling character down. Also on the daily time frame, we break this one. So that's a hard confirmation. Character is now down. We come down here. We break above this small micro high right here. Tells me that, hey, character is up. We come up here. Character right here. Breaks beneath. Character is down. Come up. Character's up. Break beneath this. Character's down. Break above this micro. Character's up. Break underneath this one. Character's down. Right? Break above this micro right here. Character's up. Break below this one. Character's down. Break above this one. Character's up. So forth. So forth. So forth. So if you can look at your charts, whether it be Think or Swim Trading View, and start to understand the change of character. Excuse me. That right there has allowed me to enter with a lot more confidence and exit with a lot more confidence. So if you can remember, like they say, the trend is your friend. Follow the trend or follow the character. If the trend or character is currently up, follow it up until it tells you it no longer wants to go up. I'm scared of heights. And then once it starts to switch on you and have a change of character from up to down, then you follow the trend down, follow the character down until it gets to a point where it says, all right, this is too low. I don't appreciate the view here. I need to go back up. And then it has a change of character. So therefore, you follow that trend, which is now up, that character, which is now up. Remember, you see how I use trend and character is interchangeable? Right? So just follow the trend. Follow the character. If the character is up, follow it up. If the character is down, follow it down. Macro is going to be the daily 4 hour, 1 hour. Micro is going to be the 15, 5 minute. So you can keep it strictly based off of the macro, which is daily 1 hour, 4 hour, right? Which would be daily high right here, the 1 hour low right here, or actually that's the daily low. Yeah, daily low, daily high. The 1 hour, 4 hour is going to be right here, right here, right? And a 15 minute will be right here. That smaller breaking to dump. It starts to make sense. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm giving more, I guess, insight on it, on the way I teach it or explain it. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and drop it. Go to timestamps, go to whatever the case may be, so I can specifically identify what it is that you're referencing, and I can clarify it if need be. All right. So basically, it's change of character. That's all it is. And the person that I actually learned this from, it's free on YouTube actually. Where's this guy at? I'm gonna pull him up. Right. It's free on YouTube. I learned it from this dude right here, this channel, right here. Photon, Matt, this guy, Don Levy, this guy. So I watched this one, this 3 hour video. I watched it. I promise you, like 17 to 27 times. I don't know. I've watched it so many damn times. I've taken so many notes. Right. What else is a good one? This playlist. Where's this playlist? Right here. Supply market structure. This one. I've watched this whole structure of playlist so many times that my head hurt. As well as this one, the whole 3 hour course. This man is amazing, right? The way he teaches it, so simple. So it made me understand. I'm like, I see what this guy's finally talking about. But yeah, so follow that guy. Go watch it. He explains it, so you can have the way I explain it plus the way he explained it. And hopefully one of those will click so you can have your quote unquote aha moments. All right, you guys enjoy.